What's going on, everyone? I'm Kilimanjaro 808. We're going to do a quick review on a rifle I've been meaning to do a review on, but now I have a little bit of time to get around to reviewing it. This is the S&T Arisaka Type 97 scoped sniper rifle. Many people call it a sniper rifle, but it's actually a marksman rifle. Anyway, Type 97 Arisaka by S&T. I got this from SWIT Airsoft, late November. Came all the way in from Taiwan. Took exactly 2 weeks for it to come in. It's a very long rifle. So inside the box, typical black styrofoam. This is the upgraded model. That's the one I purchased. That's all they had at the time. So down here is the original inner barrel. Up here is the stock spring. It has all the TNT upgrade parts. So they put a new tight bore, new spring. I believe they put a new piston in as well and all that. So it comes with a manual. Japanese. Gives you the operation of the rifle and nice pictures, how to install the scope, safety, load your BBs in the magazine, a parts breakdown of the weapon. This is the back side of it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to try to show you everything real fast. So get the manual, a magazine here, which I think holds like 20, I think it holds like 15 to 20 rounds. We're going to need this. So the gel, don't eat that. The scope, which is also numbered to the rifle. We'll discuss that in a little bit. Each Type 97 scope originally was numbered to each Type 97 Arisaka, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. And, of course, the rifle itself. Let's bad boy out. Set him down. You can take out the mag too. I've only brought this out one time. This is my second time bringing it out. Alright, so the rifle. Let's try to put the mag in. And if I look like I'm a manoob doing it, it's because I am. This is my first time like touching it since I bought it. There, so magazine seated in. Alright, so every component on this gun is made of wood and metal. There's no plastic on this. Even my tip right here, this is just actually orange tape that SWIT Airsoft put on it for shipping, which I really like. It's a lot better than stupid plastic annoying orange tips that I normally get from like places like in the US, like Airsoft GI or E-Like, where I gotta take like a knife or use like hot water to remove it. You know how that kind of stuff goes. So no plastic on this whatsoever. So the barrel assemblies wood, barrel bands right here and right here are made of metal. Front sights metal. I believe it's some type of steel. Cleaning rod is metal. Bayonet mounts metal. The monopod, which can come out. I've taken pictures of it with the monopod out. Basically, you just grab it right here. It'll swing right out. Here you have it. The fore end right here is made of wood. And I think it's made of birch wood, just like my King Arms M1 carbine was made of that same type of wood. Nothing too heavy, but nothing too fragile either. Somewhere in the middle. Got the stock, which is made of wood. just like the real thing. It's got the finger grooves in it too, right here. The rear sight, I think can flip up. But, oh yeah, there you go. So you can adjust it for elevation. The cool thing about the Type 97 is it's not just a sniper rifle or a scoped rifle. You can also use it as a standard infantry weapon. Say if your scope's not working too well or something like that. So let's fold the monopod in. The bolt cover, bolt assembly, receiver, that's all metal. The bolt, of course, is metal. And your scope mount. Arisakas are known to not only have a straight bolt, but this very uniquely Japanese bolt cover, which, as you can hear, makes a lot of noise and rattles. So some of these, when they were being used, they actually removed the bolt covers. But I think it's a really nice feature on the Arisaka. And every Arisaka had the imperial chrysanthemum right here, the symbol of the emperor. In Japanese nomenclature, every Japanese firearm was the emperor's weapon. It was in their way of saying that the emperor is giving you this rifle to use in warfare. Treat it with respect. Take care of it because it's going to save your life, and the emperor is with you in this rifle. So the Japanese were very spiritual in that regard when it came to their weapons, and that's what the imperial chrysanthemum stood for, was this spiritualism of the emperor. Your safety right here is metal. You just push it, turn left, you can pull the trigger. Going back the other way, now you can't pull the trigger or operate the bolt. Trigger's metal, trigger guard's metal. Your sling mount, of course, is indeed metal. Back here, I'm trying to find the other one. Oh, right here by the monopod. Pretty well disguised. Of course, the stock again is, it might be actually heavier than birchwood. I don't know. It's, like I said, somewhere in the middle between birchwood and where it's not so fragile, but it's also not so heavy where it's not so heavy that will weigh you down, is what I'm saying. Alright, and of course the butt plate's metal. So the bolt may feel a little awkward to those who have used a Mauser or Springfield type rifle because it's straight. I've shot the real thing, the Type 99 Arisaka, and it is a little unusual compared to, again, like a Mauser or Springfield type rifle, where you have that round bolt and it's easy to put back, push it home forward. Okay, so we take it off safe so you can hear just how powerful this thing sounds with the new spring installed. Okay. Oh, as you can see, it's really hard to pull back. Let me give you a little bit of a demo. Okay. So with this kind of rifle, with the spring I have, you gotta drop the rifle, and then you're able to pull the bolt back. You can't do it when you're firing unless you got a really strong arm. Okay. Now the scope. Going back to what I said earlier, you basically, as far as putting the scope on, you push this tab in. Forgive me, it's been a little while since I last did it. Then you come in from, yeah, you come in from here. You pull this tab right here. You have to pull. See this knob right here? You pull it up, while also pushing down on this tab right here. And to lock it in place, basically you swing it that way. And then now, the scope is affixed to the gun. If the camera can get it. Hopefully I can attach some pictures of it with the scope on, but it really makes this thing so cool. Trying to adjust the crosshairs. Okay, now what I said earlier about the scope, let me just dismount it. What I said earlier about the scope being numbered to the gun, if you look right here, look at these numbers, which is 1102, and you look at the serial number of the rifle right here, also says 1102. Now, originally from the factory with the original Type 97 Arisakas, these scopes were numbered to these rifles. Now, sometime after the war ended, they were, for some reason, all misplaced. It's very, very difficult to find a real Type 97 Arisaka with its original scope. For some reason, whoever was in charge of small arms at that time mixed up all the scopes, and I don't know how it happened. But S&T has faithfully recreated that. They put a lot of extra attention to detail in little things like this, and in adding the chrysanthemum. Even right here, going back to this rear flip up, this sight right here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it even tells you how many yards are on the rear sight. So S&T, in my opinion, is probably one of the better World War II historic airsoft manufacturers out there. So that pretty much covers the review of the S&T Type 97 Arisaka. Oh, magazine comes out like that. Push that forward. There we go. And it locks in place. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the review of the Arisaka Type 97 by S&T. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to bring the bad news at the end of the video, I have sold this rifle today. As you can see behind me, I've downsized my collection. I put my trench gun down here. Mainly because I'm going to pursue replica guns and firearms. I've put in my paperwork for long arms. And then when my buddy comes back from Afghanistan, because he's an NRA instructor, I'm going to try to pursue handguns too. I'm looking at getting a couple of real guns. But don't worry, I'll still be playing airsoft and whatnot out there on the field. I'm just going to buy at this point stuff I can use. I'm not going to do so much collecting like I've done in the past. At least that's just the way I'm kind of tackling things right now. So yeah, I mean, I've got a few left. I've sold my M1 Garand, I sold my M1 Carbine. I just sold this one. I sold two of my Nambus, which the 8mm one and the deep black finish 6mm one, which is super hard to get, even more hard to get than the 8mm. What else did I sell? Yeah, that's about it for now. So all I got left in terms of stuff, World War II airsoft guns, I got my King Arms M1928 electric blowback Thompson, my KWC 1911 Parkerized, my GNG 1903 A4, and for replica guns I got my two trench guns, so my plug fire cap 1897 trench gun and my non-firing replica 1897 trench gun, and maybe one more KWC 1911 A1 underneath my bed, and I think that pretty much is it. And I got maybe like two M4s and an M16A2 back here. But that's the direction I'm heading in. I'll still do World War II airsoft. I'll still do airsoft in general. I'm just gonna, at this point, like I said, I mean, if it's absolutely something so rare that I can't use it, or there's no use for it, then I may make an exception to that. It depends on what it is. If it's like a 1917 Tanaka new service model, those I know those are kind of hard to find. So that to me would be an airsoft gun worth more of from a collector standpoint than something I could use out in the field. Other than that, I'm just gonna buy to use it. I'm at this point where if I want something that's gonna sit, I just might as well get a replica gun. And as you know, 2 years ago, I had a 1928 A1 Thompson from this place called U.S. Replica Gun Company. Basically, it was a modified XM 1928. They used parts to make it in 1928 one. I was very astounded when I got it and I reviewed it. Got quite a good number of views on it. All tongue tied here. So yeah, if I'm gonna go for something that sits or something that I can take to like a con event or whatever, I'll just take a replica gun with me. But in terms of airsoft, at this point, again, for like the 4th time, I'm just gonna buy stuff I can use. And or if it's not that, then in terms of real guns, I'm just gonna go for real guns. I'm just waiting on my paperwork to process. But yeah, again, guys, I know I've rambled on long enough about my life right now. So that has been the review of the Arisaka Type 97 by S&T.